is that there was already a case before our courts that had been taken there by other faceless people, Honorable Speaker, but of course, the guests of the members of this House are as good as mine. And therefore, we requested them that for us to continue with the harmony of serving the Kenyan people, and for us to continue the way we've been doing in terms of supporting devolution, we requested them, and they were very magnanimous, that that case had to be withdrawn, Honorable Speaker, because, Honorable Speaker, the court had already gone ahead to inject that we were not to continue, Honorable Speaker, planning for the 22% and the 10% in the year 2024-2025. And Honorable Speaker, we will be seated here. Our constituents would be waiting for us to provide solutions to our roads, Honorable Speaker, but we would have no capacity. Honorable Speaker, I was lucky that when we went to that meeting, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Wanga, who has been also a member of this House, could understand the dynamics. And Honorable Speaker, the reasoning was that in this House, there are things that are sacrosanct. One of them is CDF, because we know it reaches all the villages. And the second is Kera Roads. And the Honorable Speaker, after the discussion, without belaboring the point, is that after the many hours of meeting our governors, who are also very good servants of the people of Kenya, we were able to come to a conclusion that the case had to be withdrawn. And Honorable Speaker, as I report here, the case has been withdrawn. And Honorable Speaker, as I study here, the 22% Kera Roads, the 10% Kera funds, which amount to Kenya shillings, around roughly 40 million shillings per constituency for 22%, and another 20 million shillings for the 10%. Honorable Speaker, I want to report to my colleagues that that fund is now firmly back to our oversight. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank all these members of this House. We gained a lot of wisdom by the interactions we get. And I consulted many of them so that, Honorable Speaker, we enrich the debate. And that is why the conclusion has been to the favor of the people of Kenya generally. Because the members here do not act on their own behalf. They act purposely because they are very patriotic, and they mind about our roads, they mind about our development, and I want to laud all the members of the National Assembly in the 13th Parliament. Honorable Speaker, I want to wind up by saying that we have also been able to grant our governors the access to the funds. We have also suspended, Honorable Speaker, the parts of the law that could have handicapped them in terms of accessing this additional allocation, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank all our governors. They are very magnanimous. They are also servants as we are. And Honorable Speaker, we wish them the best even as they continue discharging the other roles through the other funds that we appropriate in this House. Honorable Speaker, I would wish to request the Vice Chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, the Honorable Mary Amase, to second this motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. For reasons already alluded to by the Honorable Chair Budget, we unanimously agree to uphold the proposed bill as presented by the Senate. I second.
Thank you. I now propose the question, which is that this House, that pursuant to the provisions of Article 1132 of the Constitution and Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 20th February 2024, and approves the mediated version of the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023. Honorable members, this is a product of a consensual process of a bill that you passed yourselves. I don't know if you want to debate it or we put the question. I will now put the question. I see a hand there. Is it Oluoch? Oluoch, what is it?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and I just want to buttress just one point because I was a member of the Mediation Committee, and I fully concur and agree with the reasoning and points advanced by our co-chair in that, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro. The only thing I needed to add is that Honorable Ndindi Nyoro is trying to be diplomatic. The persons who actually filed this case are the Council of Governors themselves. And for some reason, the Council of Governors and the governors believe that by taking funds from the National Assembly functions, CDF, RLMS, that these would amount to funds that go to county government funds. So one of the key points that we ensured that as members we did was to extract a concession from them. And I thank Honorable Nyoro for the role he played, that they withdraw the cases which they had put. The consequence of that, which I am sure the Chair of Budget will state, is that in the budget policy statement, already there is a negative 10 billion on RLMS, and that would then required to be corrected when the report on the budget policy statement comes before this House. So I am happy that this committee was able to come back with a mediated version that allows counties to get their funds, and in the process protected the carer funds that had been reduced from 22 to 16 and from 10 to 6. With that, I support my Honorable Chair. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Makali Mulu, you want to belabor this?
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'll be very brief, Honorable Speaker, but I think it's important we put this on record, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the bill we are discussing, the mediated fashion, is a bill which is talking about resources for this financial year, Honorable Speaker. The financial year runs from July to June, Honorable Speaker. And if you look at the history of this bill, particular bill, because it's an annual bill, Honorable Speaker, every year we are doing it very late, towards the end of the year. And I think as a House, and this should be actually, the Senate should be able to listen to this, Honorable Speaker, the Senate was specifically created to take care of the interests of the counties. And in a situation where they initiate the delay in terms of release of money, I think it should be very serious. If we want proper implementation of the budget, Honorable Speaker, it is important then that the Senate, to some extent, makes that this process is not delayed, Honorable Speaker. So for me, I think, I agree, but the timeliness in terms of when we are passing this bill is an issue of concern in terms of implementation of the budget. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Order, honorable members. Before I put the question, I want to, on behalf of this House, to put it on record and make it very clear, because there were allegations from COG that this House had inordinately and maliciously delayed the passage of this bill. We want to make it clear that the delay in the passage of this bill and even the conclusion of the mediation to come to where we were was because COG went to court and obtained conservatory orders that injuncted any process in finalizing this bill. So the buck should be left to lie where it fell. It should not be transferred to this House, because this House has absolutely nothing to do with the inordinate delay in passing this bill and therefore unlocking the funds that the chairman of budget has enumerated to the House. I now put the question, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Article 1132 of the Constitution and Standing Order 153, this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 20th February 2024, and approves the mediated version of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, before we go to the Committee of the Whole, on the Affordable Housing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 75 of 2023 at order number 11. I want to give the following directions. One, there were certain very fundamental issues that were raised by the Honorable Member for Seme, the Honorable Dr. Nyikal, to the effect that the report lacks considerations and conclusions and something like that. I will give the chairman of the committee a few minutes to respond to that. Before he does that, and you know when you go to committee, Mr. Speaker will leave the chair, it was communicated and recommunicated that voting will be by way of electronic process. This House and PSC has invested heavily in ICT development in this House, and Mother Wangari tells me in the morning while she was in the chair, she also made a communication. So when you go to committee stage, and I've seen quite a number of amendments to the bill for better management of time, all votes that will be called will be actualized electronically. Members who may have forgotten or lost their cards, you may sojourn to the ICT office and obtain your cloned cards for purposes of your proper participation in the proceedings of the House. Kimani?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, as we proceed to the Committee of the Whole House, I would like to lay a fact on a few issues that were raised yesterday during the second reading by the Honorable James Nyikal. Honorable Speaker, Honorable James Nyikal said, and it's good that we set this record straight, that the Committee of that Finance and National Planning and Housing Public Works in its report did not have observations and recommendations. Honorable Speaker, the way this report was prepared and the way we prepared this report, for once, we had a report that replied to every issue that was raised by all the stakeholders that we met. And if I, for example, pick one of those areas, if you check page 94 of the report, Honorable Speaker, the residents of Narok County raised concerns, for example, about the possibility of the rich and the privileged dominating the affordable housing program and acquiring units and renting them out, thus preventing the less privileged individuals from achieving this ownership. The Joint Committee's observation on that particular remark, Honorable Speaker, and I read verbatim, the committee noted the stakeholders' concerns about potential abuse of the provision and recommended its deletion. Further, it is recommended that the bill be amended to provide safeguards for issuance of one KRA, one house, or any other unique identifier. The residents of Vihiga County, Honorable Speaker, and specifically the Vice Chancellor for Kaimosi Friends University, raised the following concern on clause 38.4, that the clause be amended to reduce the 90 working days on voluntary savings refund to 60 days. This adjustment would aim to expedite the process of returning savings to contributors who opt to withdraw their refunds voluntarily. Honorable Speaker, the Joint Committee observed and replied to the Vice Chancellor as follows. The committee noted the stakeholders' concern and agreed to reduce the period from 90 days to 60 days. Page 239 of the report, Honorable Speaker, talks about the residents of Kisii County, and they were led by the Kisii County pastors and clergy. And the issue that they raised was the requirement to have the 10% deposit for you to qualify to get a house. The Joint Committee observed the following, and this again is stipulated in page 239 of the bill, of the report, that the committee noted stakeholders' concerns and agreed to delete the agreed amount of 10% as a deposit, and further recommend that deposit amount be prescribed in regulations. If you check page 560 of the bill, we heard from the Architectural Alliance of Kenya, and the clause that they wanted deleted, Honorable Speaker. We replied to the report and actually agreed with the stakeholder that that particular clause be deleted. So I wanted to take that time to set the record straight that the report has observations and has replies to all the stakeholders on the report. And I encourage my good friend, Dr. James Nyakal, to go and read the report properly and get to see the recommendations and the reply that was made for every issue that was raised by the stakeholders. And this is the first time, because I know, Honorable Speaker, we are used to having a report that has observations toward the tail end of the report. And that is why perhaps some members are getting confused. You need to read every page and you'll see the observations that the Joint Committee made on every stakeholder inside the report. And that I beg to say, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. We'll leave it there. No. He hasn't said anything worth replying. We now go to the next order, order number 11.
Order number 11, Committee of the Whole House.
Order, honorable members, will you be upstanding?
A very good afternoon to you. And the session of the Wednesday, the third session of the afternoon sitting being February 21st, where the members of Parliament began with a procedural motion on the extension of period for the consideration of the 2024 budget policy statement and the extension of the period for the consideration of the 2024 debt management strategy. Members of Parliament now are on the Committee of the Whole House on the considerations of the Affordable Housing Bill, Bill number 75 of 2023. I now hand over you to...
Member for Shuka Igambangombe, take your seat. Member for Manyata, take your seat. Order, members. Honorable Abdikadir, take your seat. Hi. Shut up. Order, members. Member for Ndia, take your seat. Honorable Kerema, take your seat. Honorable Mokonji, take your seat. Order, members. Before we go to Committee of the Whole, allow me to recognize Catholic University of Eastern Africa students in Langata constituency, Nairobi County. Join me in welcoming them to observe the proceedings of the House. We are now in the Committee of the Whole. to consider the Affordable Housing Bill 2023.
Clause 3. Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. Mover. Chair. I know this is co-sponsored by Chair Housing and Chair Finance. Who is moving the amendment?
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 3 of the bill be amended as per the order paper, that in paragraph A, we insert the words "and to reasonable standards of sanitation," and then the end of paragraph B, in paragraph B, by inserting the words "and institutional housing" at the end of the paragraph, and C, in paragraph C, by inserting the words "and institutional housing" at the end of the paragraph. Honorable Speaker, this amendment is to provide to include institutional housing as part of the affordable housing scheme. With that, I beg to move, Honorable Speaker.
I therefore propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair Finance. I now put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the Chair Finance Committee. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The import of carrying that amendment is that the amendment proposed by Honorable Oundo will fall, but I will allow Honorable Gathoni wa Mushomba to move her amendment on this. If she's not in the House, it is dropped. Therefore, I will put a global question that the clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Mover.
Honorable Chair, there is no amendment on.
Order members, order Chair. The person with an amendment on this is Honorable Gathoni wa Mushomba, who is not in the House, so the amendment. No, where is Millie?
You call her.
But you have told me Gathoni has an amendment.
Gathoni, Millie,
Yeah.
they have
So who
amendments.
are we moving first?
We have this one.
Yeah, that's what I was calling. Yeah. I was doing that. Honorable Gathoni wa Mushomba is not in the House, so her amendment is dropped. Member for Suba had an amendment. Honorable Millie Odhiambo. The Speaker has allowed Honorable Nyikal to... Honorable Otiende Amolo to move for Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Chair. On behalf of Honorable Millie Odhiambo, the proposal in respect of clause 4 is to delete clause 4 in its entirety, with the result that there will be no levy imposed. I so move.
Therefore, I propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Millie Odhiambo. I now put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it.
So the import of that, the amendment by Odhiambo falls. Member for Finyola falls. Then we have one by Nyikal.
The import of that is that the amendment by member for Funyula falls. Then we'll have the amendment by the member for Seme, Honorable Nyikal. Move your amendment.
Chair, my amendment is that is the order paper. And Madam Chair, the import of this amendment is that the levy is actually being put on the gross salary. That means the salary as it is before it is touched. And my amendment is proposing that we put it on the net. That means after you have done statutory deductions, such as NSHIF, such as NSSF, then what is left is what you levy the 1.5% on. Madam Speaker, why I'm doing this, Kenyans are actually having a lot of deductions which are statutory, which are by law, which they have no control over. And therefore, since all those are going to support government things and public things, it is therefore important that we save them from that. And therefore, we want those deducted first, and then what is left is then what is subjected to 1.5%. If you look at it, honorable members, all the deduction is still actually going to either government or whatever levy. So we are just saving the members so that they pay a little less, but what is left is what is deducted, and what they have paid has also gone to the government. So it is a consideration so that as we do this, we actually don't hurt members excessively. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I therefore propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyikao. Member for Molo, Chair Finance.
Honorable Chair, the recommended amendment by Dr. Nyikao and the explanation he has given is actually misleading. Because by deleting the word gross and substituting that with net, the impact of that would mean that for you to impose a levy, you will have to take into consideration all deductions, including if you had SACCO savings or your SACCO loans or your bank or your loan at the bank, and therefore that would cause an administration nightmare. It is not implementable as recommended by Dr. Nyikao. And therefore our proposal is that we do not support Dr. Nyikao's amendment.
Thank you. I will now put the question that clause 4 I will indulge a few members. Honorable Oluoch of Mathare.
And Chair, maybe you could guide. Do I now move my amendment or wait for this to?
No, Honorable Member, we prosecute Honorable Nyikao first. So we will come to you.
Honorable Chair, I support this amendment because the bill as it is presupposes then that the housing levy becomes a fast charge without taking into considerations that there may be many other items that employees may already have encumbered themselves into. There is no justification why you would put in a hierarchy the housing levy to be a fast charge above other items that an employee has already been encumbered with. Therefore, by removing the word gross, it allows all other things which should share on equal basis so that the employee is not disadvantaged on the basis of an imposition of a fast levy, which it is not. Therefore, I support Honorable Nyikao's amendment.
Honorable Oluoch, I've indulged you because you had a similar amendment, and the fate that will befall Honorable Nyikao's amendment will affect your amendment. That also for Honorable Clive and Honorable Ariko. Before then, I will give Honorable CNN. If you're intending to speak to this, you'll put intervention per clause.
Yes,
Honorable
Chair.
CNN.
Yes, Chair. I rise to support this amendment, Chair. Madam Chair, if you have compared the pay slips of Kenyans who are actually working today, majority of them, if we impose levy based on gross salary, Madam Chair, majority of them have gone to negative territory. That's why I am supporting this amendment, Chair.
Thank
and
you.
It will be good for Kenya.
Thank you. Member for Keses.
Thank you, Chair. My weight on this matter is that on the proposal by one Honorable Nyikal, it is not workable because as per the provision of the Constitution, we need a basic common denominator that is equitable, that is balanced, that is fair, that is applicable across the board. But when we look at the net, it will be discriminative because we cannot be equal in terms of deductions. So I want to propose that that particular proposal amendment should not stand, but rather we go to the original that we base on the gross, because that cuts across in an equal manner. Thank you.
Order, members, keep the consultations low. We need to hear the members. Honorable Rahim.
See you.
Give Honorable Rahim the mic. Members, be patient. We'll get to you, Honorable Wanjala, but make sure you have your card. We are using the card to speak and to vote. Honorable Rahim.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If Honorable Nyikal's amendment had talked about statutory deductions, then it would have been fine if there was statutory deductions. But the way it stands right now, it's very vague because it says net what the chair has explained. But if it was statutory deductions, yes, that would be okay.
Honorable Makali Mulu. Honorable Makali is on the floor. Nothing is out of order. Honorable Makali.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I think the issue being raised by the Chair of the Finance Committee is the issue of administrative nature, where you're saying deducting the money might be tricky. What I would propose, Honorable Chair, what Honorable Nyikal is saying makes a lot of sense. Deductions should only be after the statutory deductions. That is payee, NHIF, and possibly those who have NSSF. So what I would be proposing, Honorable Chair, is how if the Chair of Finance could make an amendment so that we isolate those three, but then make sure it's not after the circle deductions and all those others. Because Kenyans need disposable income, Honorable Chair, for this economy to grow. In a situation where you squeeze all the disposable income, you will never grow this economy, and what you want to achieve as a country, you'll never achieve it. I'm speaking as an expert in this area. So I wish the Chair could make an amendment so that we only deduct after those net deductions. I submit, Honorable Chair.
What is out of order, Honorable Junet?
Yeah, thank you very much for giving a chair. I want to urge our members on this side to drop all the amendments because it's not making any improvement in the House, and we allow the Kenya Kwanza people to do the amendments as they wish and pass the bill. Sasa nyinyi mnaambiwa mtoke nje, muendeni nyumbani.
Honorable Chair, do you have anything to add on this? Member for Funyula, Honorable Nchoke, what is it?
Chair.
You have the mic now, Honorable Nchoke.
Yeah, can you give me a mic? Honorable Chair, we can cure the chairman's fears by defining what net means. Because if we leave it gross, it's punitive, it's prohibitive. Kenyans are already suffering. So we can define that and remove the fears that the chairman has. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Chair, I think It's only fair that you put the question now on this matter, because what Honorable Nyikal is saying, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, is that just geared towards reducing the amount that is collectible with no justification at all, and we completely disagree with the justification he's giving. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And I have spoken to Honorable Nyikal. I was trying to prevail on him to drop this particular amendment because he has another amendment that we are in support of, and he knows where there is logic in what he's proposing, we support. But where you want to reduce the amounts collectible, we do not support. Honorable Nyikal, I want to prevail on you to drop this particular amendment so that we support your other amendments that are logical and are making a lot of sense to many of us.
Honorable members. Order members, I will put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Nyikal. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it. We have one more. The import of that amendment is that the amendment by Honorable Ariko falls, the amendment by Honorable Anthony Oluoch falls, but we will give Honorable Clive Ombane to move the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My amendment is as it appears on the order paper, whereby we are seeking that we delete the word gross and replace it with basic. The justification here is that already the taxpayer is overburdened. And by deducting these from the gross is highly punitive and very insensitive. Yes, we may not be supporting this bill at all, but if we have to stuff it down the throat of the people, then let us do it with some humanity in us. So I therefore ask that this House considers that we move it from gross to basic, Chair.
I propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Clive Gisairo. What is out of order, Honorable Chepkonga? Give him the mic.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, it's not that I just wanted to say that Honorable Clive, although he's making some proposals, the difference between gross and basic, we know gross is defined. He has not defined basic. So you cannot seek to amend something that's already defined, is in the interpretations, and put in something that is not defined. It is not interpreted. What you should have done was to bring the definition of what basic is. As it is right now, nobody knows what basic is.
We hear you, Honorable Chepkonga. I'll give the member for Funyula.
Chair, thank you for this opportunity, but I'm thoroughly worried that a whole senior like Honorable Chepkonga does know the difference between basic, gross, and net. It is very telling. At this age, at his age, he does not understand. On that matter, Honorable Chair, really, it becomes very difficult. Even to have basic, Honorable Chair, is very clear. Basic is the basic salary as provided anywhere. When we add these others, the one for housing allowance and everything, that's when it becomes gross. I thought these are very basic things.
We hear you.
Thank you, Honorable.
Chair, Finance.
Honorable Chair, although this amendment seems to be very innocent, The difference between basic and gross would imply that what employers and employees will do would to reduce the basic pay payable and load all the other emoluments that are payable to the employee as allowances. So if, for example, you have a salary of 100,000, if we change the principle from making a percentage of gross to making it a percentage of profit, there's nothing that will stop taxpayers from reducing, from now saying that the basic salary that they're paying is 20,000 and 80,000 as allowances. And therefore, that would really depict the whole purpose why we are setting up this fund for the purpose of affordable housing and institutional housing.
I will therefore put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by Honorable Clive Gisairo. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay?
Nay.
The nays have it. I will now put the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. I will put the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Movers, Honorable Gathonu Amushomba, I'm told you're here to prosecute the amendment. As is similar to Millie. The mic is there now. Prosecute.
Honorable Chair, I request for 2 minutes to settle. Just 2 minutes.
Honorable Amushomba, we had called you earlier. You are missing. I will drop this amendment. Honorable Millie Odhiambo, Otiende Amolos, not in the House. I will drop the amendment. Proposed amendment by the chairpersons.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 5 of the bill be amended as proposed in the order paper, A, by numbering the existing provisions as 1, and B, by inserting the following new subclause immediately after the numbered subclause 1, that without prejudice to the generality of Section 6, any business or company which complies with the provisions of Section 5 shall not be liable to pay the levy under Section 4(2)(b). Honorable Chair, the import of this is to avoid double taxation for persons who are already paying housing, the affordable housing levy through the 1.5% employer contribution. Because without now making this clarification, it would mean that those businesses and corporations that are already paying 1.5% will now have to again pay 1.5% of their gross income to the affordable housing, as the affordable housing levy. With that, I beg to move, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. I will now propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chairs. I put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the chairs. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We have further proposed amendments by member for Seme. If not in the House, it is dropped. Honorable member for Kitutu Masaba, Honorable Gisairo. He's in the House. Give him the mic.
You have no right to tell me dropped and I'm here. Chair, I'm seeking an amendment to clause 7 of the bill.
We are on clause 5, Honorable Clive.
I think clause 5 is what we've already passed on the gross.
All right, then I drop this proposed amendment here. Member for Turkana South, Honorable Ariko. He's in the House.
Madam Chair, I think my amendments under clause 4 is the same as amendment clause 5. And if
prosecute clause 5.
I'm not ready to prosecute. Let me wait.
If you're not ready, I will drop it. Yes. And with that, honorable members, will conclude clause 5, so I'll put the global question that clause 5 be amended, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Member for Githunguri.
There is no amendment on the order paper.
Honorable Millie Odhiambo. Absent. Amendment dropped. Member for Seme, amendment dropped. Member for Mathare.
Thank you, Chair. I move as per the amendment of the order paper. And the reason for that, Honorable Chair, is that the proposed amendment, the clause as it is on the order paper is discriminatory to the effect that it seeks to exclude cabinet secretaries and creates a notion that the levy itself is a levy that is to be paid by a certain category of Kenyans, and that there are certain other categories of Kenyans that are protected. And therefore, I seek to delete that provision as in the bill. I so move.
Thank you. Honorable Oluoche's amendment is a deletion, so I will propose the question that clause 6 be deleted as proposed by Honorable Anthony Oluoch. I will put the question that clause 6 be deleted as proposed by Honorable Anthony Oluoch. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. I will allow member for Embakasi, Honorable Mark Mwenje. If not in the House, I will drop it. Honorable Odhiambo, member for Funyula, was the same as Honorable Oluoch, so it is also dropped. So I will now propose that clause 6, I will put the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. Amendment by Honorable Gathonu wa Mushomba. Where are you amending? Honorable Gathoni.
Madam Chair, you'll forgive me, I don't have my card for now. That is why I'm not able to access the microphone.
I have already given you the microphone, Honorable Mushomba.
Thank you.
Prosecute the amendment.
Allow me to drop the amendment for now. Thank you.
That is dropped. The amendment by member for Turkana South, Honorable Ariko. You have dropped. Honorable member for Suba North, absent. It is dropped. Member for Funyula.
Chair, in view of other droppings, as they call them, whatever that means, droppings as they call them, you know, I drop the proposed amendment.
We have proposed amendments by the chairpersons. Move the amendments, Honorable Kimani.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 7 be amended as per the order paper, and this is deleting and substituting therefore the following new clause, that the levy shall be a debt due to the government and shall be recoverable in accordance with the Tax Procedures Act of 2015. This, Honorable Chair, is to make all fines and penalties for payee and for the other statutory deductions to be the same as that of this housing levy. Honorable Chair, I beg to move.
I therefore propose the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chairs. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The implication of that is that the proposed amendment by Honorable Oluoch and Clive Ombane falls. So I will put a global question that clause 7 be, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
This has no amendment. I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Honorable Amushomba, do you take the same route?
Chair, Madam Chair, this time I'm not ready to drop. I want to move that we amend clause 9. Justification is that the affordable housing levy are punitive to Kenyans who are faced with the high cost of living and their lives are difficult. Also, the levy increases the cost of doing business in Kenya and may lead to most businesses closing down. Madam Chair, further, there is no direct correlation between...
Order members.
There is no direct correlation between paying the levy and owning a house.
Order, Honorable Amushomba. There is a point of order from the chair. We'll hear it.
Honorable Chair, and I want to give Honorable Amushomba benefit of doubt because she has just joined us now. But the moving she's making has nothing to do with clause 9 of the bill. It has completely nothing to do with clause 9, and I think you should rule her completely out of order.
Honorable Amushomba, your amendment in clause 9, as per the records, is a deletion. Paragraph A, the entire paragraph A. So kindly move the right amendment as filed by the Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I move that clause 9 of the bill be amended by deleting paragraph A.
Now you can go on.
With the justification, Madam Speaker, that the affordable housing levy are punitive to Kenyans who are faced with high cost of living and their lives are difficult as we speak. Also, the levy increases the cost of doing business in Kenya and may lead to most businesses closing down or retrenching employees. Further, there is no direct correlation between paying the levy and owning a house. Therefore, it is proposed that this clause be deleted completely, Madam Speaker.
Wait, Honorable Chair. No, order members. Order members. I have the bill here. Honorable Amushomba's filed amendment is 9 to delete 9A. That all monies deducted or payable as a levy under this act, that whole A to be deleted. So she is perfectly in order. So we'll allow her to move, and I think you have already moved the amendment. Let me first of all propose the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by Gathoni Amushomba. Now I can hear the majority leader.
Chair, you know why we are lost on the member for Githunguri's amendment? Clause 9 is talking about the monies that will be paid into the fund. Clause 4 is the one that spoke about what she's speaking about, the levy. And clause 4 has already passed. Therefore, unless she had deleted clause 4, then what she's saying makes absolutely no sense.
Majority leader, order.
Because the fund is already there, Honorable Speaker.
Order, majority leader.
I strongly oppose that particular amendment. These are things we say in funerals and in rallies, not in legislation making.
You're totally out of order, Honorable Majority Leader. Order members, if you look at the bill, part 3, it talks about the fund, but 9 is speaking about there shall be paid into the fund. A, monies deducted or payable as the levy under this act. So she's perfectly in order. So let her move. We can have contributions of the same, a few. I put the question. So I will put the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by Amushomba. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it. The import of that is that the amendment by Honorable Millie Odhiambo falls because it was similar. And then we'll have the chairs prosecute the committee's amendments. Chair, you have a proposed amendment on clause 9?
Yes. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 9 be amended as per the order paper by numbering the existing provisions as 1, and B, by inserting the following new paragraph immediately after paragraph C, that CA, voluntary contributions made under section 38. And by inserting the new subclause immediately after the renumbered subclause 1 and 2, without saying that without prejudice to the generality of subsection 1, D, and C, all the proceeds of the sale, rent, and interest shall be paid into the fund. This amendment is providing, Honorable Chair, for voluntary contribution to be paid into the fund, and that proceeds also from the sale and lease of houses that are built through this affordable housing program are paid back to the fund so that it be made a revolving fund. Honorable Chair, I beg to move.
I therefore propose the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will now put the question that clause 9 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. We have the chairpersons who have an amendment. Honorable Kimani, Honorable Ngeno, to move.
Thank you, Chair. I propose that clause 10 be amended in A, in subclause 1 by inserting the words institutional housing immediately after the words affordable housing. B, in subclause 2, 1 by deleting the words in all counties appearing in paragraph C, and then 2 by inserting a new paragraph immediately after paragraph C, and D, facilitate development of institutional housing units.
I therefore propose the question. You're not done?
I'm not done. The justification is that the amendment is to provide for the institutional housing, which was not the previous bill.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the chair. Majority Leader.
Chair, I rise to support this particular amendment. And Honorable Chair, you know, out of the public participation, you saw university students appear before the committee. And I see the Honorable Ariko, who is a member of the committee, remembers. And one of the challenges that have been with our students in urban centers is lack of proper housing in our universities, in our institutions of TVETs. Honorable Speaker, now this creates a forum for our university, TVET, and college students to be able to access institutional housing being built purposely for students. To our police force, Honorable Speaker. Our police force has suffered immensely since the change on government policy on housing when they started giving our police officers housing allowance. And they are given a housing allowance, I think, of 5,000 to 9,000 shillings, depending on your rank. Well, you are serving in a town where on average rental houses go for 20, 30 shillings, 30,000 shillings, Honorable Speaker. Now with institutional housing, the government can now do institutional housing for police officers, for teachers, for medical care staff around hospitals, and they will be able to afford, since now this is affordable housing being done by under this fund. And I strongly support and thank the chair and the finance and housing committees for having taken into consideration many of the proposals that came through public participation.
I say, do you use your cards, Members put the intervention. Honorable Stephen Mogaka.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I also want to support that amendment and thank the Chair for that very quick thinking, because in particular, I come from a county which suffers a great deal because people working in the county live elsewhere. With this amendment, and when I am pitching to have a university set in Nyamira at Senator Kebaso, this institutional housing is going to solve the problem of the student housing, it's going to solve the problem of the staff, and it is going to save the leakages in incomes of earners within Nyamira County who are spending it in Bomet, Kisii, Homa Bay, and other neighboring counties. I support, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Member for Matuga. Are you intending to speak on this one? Honorable Kemei, Justice.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I'll come back to you, Honorable Kasim.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to support this amendment, Madam Chair. Sigawit Soin constituency doesn't have a single government quarter. The police officers based in that sub-county do not have any single dwelling except dilapidated structures in Sondu. The teachers don't have dwellings, Madam Speaker. The Kenya Medical Training College, which we have just started in Sigawit, there are no residential quarters. So I support, Madam Chair, the amendment so that we who are disadvantaged in terms of housing can be able to host public servants and any other employees. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Member for Matuga.
Asante, Madam Speaker. Hili ni jambo muhimu kwamba hizi nyumba ziweze kushughulikia sio wale tu ambao wanafanya kazi, lakini wale ambao hawana kazi, hasa kama ilivyotangulizwa kwa watoto wa shule. Nikikumbuka kwamba katika Kwale County tuna kituo kizima cha Technical University wa Mombasa kule Mabokoni, lakini kwa miaka 4 kimeshindwa kupata wanafunzi kwa sababu hakuna nyumba za wao kuweza kuishi pale. Kwa hivyo mfumo huu moja kwa moja utawezesha sehemu mbalimbali za Kenya kuweza kukua, kwani kutakuwa kuna makazi mema. Asante, Madam Speaker, naunga mkono.
Thank you. Member for Tinderet.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Chair, I think this amendment is quite in order because if you go to many universities these days, especially in large cities like Nairobi, students even live in slums, areas where there is very poor planning, very poor water resources, and therefore, by allowing institutions to have these houses, actually it is going to enable the core functions of the institutions to take place, that is teaching and learning, and then houses are going to be there. I support, Madam Chair.
Member for Funyula.
Chair, I support the amendment, but unfortunately when I, of course, anticipating debate, and I want the chair for the committee to listen carefully, I think when we are defining institutional housing, we should extend this beyond government pool housing, because when we talk about government pool housing, it's very restrictive. Many of us face requests from secondary schools to develop accommodation for the teachers and those who are allowed to stay in the boarding secondary schools. And I would want him to request when making that movement, when it's moving under clause 2, he needs to include secondary school, boarding secondary school accommodation. Thank you, Honorable.
Member for Kericho.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to support this amendment in a very big way. In Kericho County, Honorable Speaker, we have very old houses that when you look at it, Honorable Speaker, even the nurses, the teachers don't appreciate and they don't like them. Not forgetting that the University of Kabianga is the main university that we have, but Honorable Speaker, there are no houses even for the students. They live in rental houses around and it causes a lot of problems. So when we have this institutional housing, it will save us a lot of trouble in Kericho County. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Namoit.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I raised to support this amendment because these amendments came out from the pastoral community and specifically the people of Turkana County. Madam Speaker, the institutions in Turkana do not have these houses. So I'm requesting that when the Ministry of Education admitted 900 students in one of the secondary schools, we do not have the right structures to accommodate these students. The people of Turkana do not need these houses, but our institutions, like the Turkana University College, we do not have houses to house our students. So basically, Madam Speaker, this amendment will support the people of Turkana County, and I again support this amendment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Other members, I now put the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I'll allow the next proposed amendment by the member for Mandera South, Honorable Abdul Haro.
Thank you.
Prosecute the amendment.
Thank you, Chair. I'll move an amended version of my earlier amendment. I move that the bill be amended in clause 10(2)(b) by inserting the following words: or low monthly payment home loans where applicable, immediately after the words low interest loans. Thank you, Chair.
I therefore propose the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by Honorable Abdul Haro. Chair.
Honorable Chair, we have consulted and we agree with the amendment as proposed by Honorable Abdul Haro. This is to be able to provide for our Muslim brothers and sisters to be able to access this fund by being Sharia compliant.
I therefore will put the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by Honorable Abdul. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will now put the global question that clause 10 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that clause 11 be part of the bill. We have a proposed amendment by the chairs, moved by Honorable Ngeno.
Clause 11 be amended, the bill be amended by deleting the clause 11, the whole of clause 11 of the bill, and substituting therefore the following new clauses. 11(1), the board may allocate out of the fund monies for the development and offtake of affordable housing programs and projects, and B, development of institutional housing, and C, social and physical infrastructure. 2, the monies may be allocated subject to the annual investment programs under Section 11B and the provisions of Part 3A to the agencies set out in Schedule 3. Third schedule. And in that third schedule, Madam Chair, these are the list of the agencies in that schedule. 1, county governments. 2,
Order, Chair. Are you moving on the schedule?
Yes.
Do not move the schedules yet.
Number 3, the monies may be allocated to county governments in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and on such conditions as may be prescribed by the Cabinet Secretary for the time being responsible for the National Treasury. 4, despite the provisions of subsection 2, the board shall allocate out of the fund A, up to 2% of the monies to the collector for the collection of the levy as may be approved by the Cabinet Secretary for the time being responsible for the National Treasury on the recommendation of the Cabinet Secretary. And B, up to 2% of the monies to the board for the administration of the fund as may be approved by the Cabinet Secretary for the time being responsible for the National Treasury on the recommendation of the Cabinet Secretary. 5, the third schedule may be amended by notice in the Gazette. The justification for this, Madam Chair, is that as you can see, Madam Chair, there should be a prescribed formula of subdividing this money according to the agencies which are supposed to implement this particular fund. Thank you.
I therefore propose the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 11 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The import of this amendment is that the proposed amendments by Honorable Gathoni Wamuchomba, Honorable Ariko Namoit, and Honorable Member for Funyula fall. So I will put the global question that clause 11 is amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 12.
I propose the question that clause 12 be part of the bill. Honorable Gathoni Wamuchomba.
Madam Chair, I rise to move that the clause 12 of the bill be deleted. With your permission, Madam Chair, the National Housing Corporation should be the one that should administer the fund, owing to its unique and long experience in the management of such funds. Further, Madam Chair, this should be cheaper instead of establishing another board. We cannot create a new board that is going to use the same money that we are being deducted for administrative purposes, whereas we already have a body that is already entrenched in the Constitution of Kenya. And therefore, I submit.
I propose the question that clause 12 be deleted as proposed by Honorable Wamuchomba. Honorable Member for Endebess.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you know the amendments the Honorable Wamuchomba has been moving was that there should be this, she was opposing. Now I wonder why she's collecting now the money and wants to give it to a certain board. You know, it is it is kind of rhetorical. It is funny, Madam Speaker. And I want to oppose on that
Member
basis.
for Endebess. Any member can move amendments on any bill. So
no, but you see, Madam Speaker, she was opposing the collection of the funds. She is saying this issue of the housing fund is punitive. It is costly to the taxpayer.
Member for Endebess.
She wants the same money.
Member for Endebess. Contribute, oppose
yes,
the amendments, but do not say that she cannot bring an amendment.
I'm giving the reasons why I'm opposing. And she was saying the fund is scandalous. Now the scandalous fund, she wants to give the same fund to the housing corporation. So I oppose, Madam Speaker.
We hear you. Member for Buri, are you on this?
Madam Chair, you cannot kill yourself and then want
Honorable
to resurrect
Wamuchomba, hold your horses. I'll give you. Member for Buri.
Yes, Madam Chair, I'm saying you cannot kill yourself and then you want to resurrect and come back to light again. I oppose that amendment.
Member for Dagoretti North.
Madam Chair, I want to support the Honorable Wamuchomba, but in this way, that if this House can agree, we have one place the fund can go for purposes of monitoring, for purposes of reducing corruption, then the better. But we must think as a House to have one fund to manage.
Honorable Dido Raso.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Honorable Muchomba just sits behind me. And I think her proposal, she's making political statements here. The reason why we are having this bill is because the National Housing Corporation failed, and it has not achieved the mandate. And that is why we are coming up with a new law. For that reason, I oppose.
Other members, I said I'll give the ones who have put for intervention. Member for Mosop.
Madam Chair, I stand to oppose that amendment specifically because Housing Corporation has actually failed, and I support the member. And so coming up with an independent body to just to monitor this fund is the right thing to do. So I oppose the proposal.
Majority Leader.
Chair, I rise to oppose. Honorable Chair, you know what Honorable Pukosa was saying. We have already collected the levy. The money is going to a fund that is also giving money to other implementing agencies, including county governments. How are we going to use NHC, for instance, as proposed by Honorable Muchomba, to give money to counties? They have no modality of giving money to counties and to the other implementing agencies, including the State Department that is currently engaged in the work of construction of the affordable housing schemes, including some in Githunguri. And I want to assure the people of Githunguri constituency, the affordable housing scheme for Githunguri constituency will be advertised within another week or so. A total of close to 2,200 houses, including a cultural center within Githunguri constituency. And I must thank the former member of parliament for Githunguri, the Honorable Kago Alidia, who has gone out of his way to make sure that the people of Githunguri will not miss out on this opportunity to access jobs for the people of Githunguri and to make sure the people of Githunguri also access affordable and social.
Other members. Other members, I will hear Honorable Nyamai. Honorable Muchomba, I'll give you a minute. Just hold your horses. Honorable Nyamai.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I oppose this amendment by the Honorable Gathoni. First of all, funds have already been collected. And I think we will be over-legislating by identifying an institution, a specific institution where this money should go. Two, Honorable Chair, it's about the moral authority. In the earlier amendment, the Honorable Gathoni totally rejected the collection of money. So morally, this amendment is morally wrong for her to bring it. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Muchomba, you have 1 minute.
Madam Chair, I rise to, first of all, clear the air that the people of Githunguri who elected me so overwhelmingly have a right to be represented in this house. And they believed and trusted in me. That is why I'm in this house, to represent them. The people of Endebess, where Honorable Dr. Pukosa represent, do not have a better right than the people of Githunguri. And therefore, nobody should lecture me in this house. I am here by right, and I'm here to speak as empowered by the people of Githunguri.
Other members, I now put the question that clause 11, clause 12 be deleted as proposed by Honorable Muchomba. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it. We have another amendment by the chairpersons on this clause.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 12, the bill be amended. A, in subclause 3E, by inciting the words through a competitive process immediately after the word appointed. B, by inserting the following new subclause immediately after the subclause 4. 4A, in appointing the member of the board, the cabinet secretary shall A, ensure that not more than two-thirds of the members are of the same gender. B, take into account regional balance. C, consider special and marginalized groups, including youth, women, and persons with disabilities. The import of this, Madam Chair, is that this amendment provides clarity in the recruitment of members of the board so that it is through a competitive process and to actualize the Constitution where there is a provision for gender balance, regional balance, and all that. Thank you.
I therefore propose the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 12 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. Mover, Honorable Mushomba.
Madam Speaker, I drop it because you have already made an amendment for the previous clause.
Thank you. The amendment is dropped. Proposed amendment by the chairpersons on clause 13.
I propose that clause 13 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. Are you still on your feet, Chair? I've already proposed the question, and I want to put the question. I put the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The import of that amendment is that the proposed amendment by Honorable Millie Odhiambo is dropped. So I will put the global question that clause 13 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Mover, member for Githunguri.
Madam Chair, clause 14 and 15 still goes together with clause 13. So I drop both of them.
Amendment dropped. We have an amendment by Honorable James Nyikal, which will be moved by Honorable Member for Funyula.
Chair, yes. I propose that clause 14 is amended as provided for in the order paper. And the import of it is to professionalize the management of the fund. Thank you, Chair.
I propose the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by Honorable Member for Funyula. I'll give the chair the first chance. Chair Finance.
So,
okay, thank you. Honorable Chair, what Dr. Nyikal is recommending and what has been moved by our good friend, as co-chairs we've consulted and they agree with those amendments. This is to professionalize the academic qualification and the experience needed for the chairperson and for the members of the board, and therefore we support that amendment as proposed.
Member for Endebess, did you want to speak to this?
Thank you, Chair. As you remember, the majority leader had said that proposal by Honorable Nyikal on the membership for the board is an improvement to what it is in the bill. Therefore, I stand to support.
I have very many people on the interventions, but I don't see the interest right now. Member for Dagoretti South, are you on this one? No. I will therefore propose the question that clause, I will put the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by Honorable Member for Funyula. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We have a proposed amendment by the chairpersons on clause 14.
So, Honorable Chair, our amendment was similar to that, and that's why we yielded to the amendment. So our amendment is therefore dropped.
So we'll have the amendments by the chair, by Honorable Luoch, and by Honorable Clive dropped, and I will therefore put the global question that clause 14 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. There is a proposed amendment by member for Githunguri. Have you dropped?
Chair, I said from clause 13, 14, 15, and 16 are dropped because they are aligning with the clause 13.
Thank you, member for Githunguri. To be on record, that amendment is dropped. Therefore, I'll put the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 16.
I propose the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. The proposed amendment by a member for Githunguri has been dropped, so I will put the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 17.
I propose the question that clause 17 be part of the bill. Member for Githunguri, you did not touch on clause 17. Are you ready to move the amendment?
Chair, not necessarily because it's the same. Dropped.
It is dropped, so we'll prosecute it in the same manner. I will put the question that clause 17 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 18.
I propose the question that clause 18 be part of the bill. Again, member for Githunguri, similar to member for Suba North. Member for Githunguri.
Chair, dropped.
I will therefore prosecute it in the same manner and put the question that clause 18 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 19.
I propose the question that clause 19 be part of the bill. Again, member for Githunguri. Is it the similar fate? Thank you. So I will put the question that clause 19 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 20.
I propose the question that clause 20 be part of the bill. Member for Githunguri, be on record.
Dropped, Chair.
Thank you. I therefore put the question that clause 20 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 21.
I propose the question that clause 21 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by member for Githunguri. Yes, we have a problem with our microphone.
Thank you. Chair, I move that the bill be amended by deleting clause 21 and substituting it therefore with the following new clause. 21A, there shall be an administrator of the fund who shall be competitively recruited and appointed by the National Housing Corporation. But because already we have made conclusions on the other clauses touching on the National Housing Corporation, and therefore drop the amendment.
It is well noted. We have a proposed amendment by the chairpersons. Honorable Kuria.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 21 be amended as per the order paper, and this is providing for qualification of the CEO.
I therefore propose the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The import of that is that proposed amendment by Honorable Oluoch and Honorable Ombane falls. So I will put the global question that clause 21 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 22.
I propose the question that clause 22 be part of the bill. Chairpersons.
Chair, I beg to move that clause 22 be amended as per the order paper, and this is seeking to align the functions of the administrator of the fund to the previous amendment, providing for submission of annual affordable housing investment programs by the board to the National Assembly for approval, and further, that the amendment seeks to harmonize the roles of the administrator with Section 24 of the PFM Act of 2012.
I therefore propose the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Member for Githunguri, you have a proposed amendment on the same? Oh, sorry. The import of the carrying of chair's amendment is that Honorable Wamushomba's amendment falls. So I will put the global question that clause 22 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 23 and 24.
These have no amendments. I propose the question that clauses 23 and 24 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 23 and 24 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 25.
I propose the question that clause 25 be part of the bill. The proposed amendment is by Honorable Millie Odhiambo, who is not in the House, so it is dropped. So I will put the question that clause 25 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 26.
I propose the question that clause 26 be part of the bill. Honorable Wamushomba.
Chair, clause 20, 26 and 27 are aligning with what we have previously handled, so it started dropped.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The next, before we go to the next amendment, so to be on record, Honorable Gathoni, you have dropped amendment in clause 26. Honorable Millie's amendment is also dropped, so we will put the question. I will put the question that clause 26 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 27.
I propose the question that clause 27 be part of the bill. I think Honorable Wamushomba, you're on record that this is also dropped. Member for Seme is not in the House, it's also dropped. So I will put the question that clause 27 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 28.
I propose the question that clause 28 be part of the bill. Honorable Gathoni Wamushomba, is this also affected?
Chair, clause 28 and 29 are affected, so they stand dropped.
Thank you. To be on record, that amendment is dropped, so I will put the question that clause 28 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 29.
We will treat this as I will propose the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. The amendment by Honorable Member for Githunguri is dropped, so I will put the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye?
Amendments. We have an amendment to clause 29.
To clause what?
Eh?
Clause what? 20? I don't have it. I don't have it. Chair, you have amendments.
Oh, these are new clauses.
These are new clauses. Yeah. Hey. So? Just to be certain, I know there are new clauses, but this is not it. So allow me to put the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. And I propose the question, I put the question that clause 29, I now put the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as that have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 30.
I propose the question that clause 30 be part of the bill. There is a proposed amendment by the chairpersons.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 30 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment is to allow body corporates such as universities and colleges to take up some of these housing units as institutions. With that, I beg to move, Honorable Chair.
I propose the question that clause 30 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 30 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. There was a proposed amendment by the member for Funyula, but the import of this amendment is that your amendment falls. So I will put the global question that clause 30 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 31.
I propose the question that clause 31 be part of the bill. Chairpersons, there is a proposed amendment.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 31 be amended as per the order paper. Honorable Chair, I beg to move that further to the amendment proposed as per the order paper, that you propose to make a further amendment to paragraph C to include the following and tax compliance certificate, so that the people that get to apply for those affordable housing do not just need to submit a PIN, KRA PIN number, but they would need to be tax compliant. With that, I beg to move, Honorable Chair.
I will propose the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The import of that amendment is that the amendment by Honorable Nyikal and that of the Honorable Member for Turkana South are dropped. So I will put the global question that clause 31 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 32.
I propose the question that clause 32 be part of the bill. Member for Seme, not in the House, amendment dropped. There is a proposed amendment by the chairperson.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 32 be amended as per the order paper, and this, Honorable Chair, is to remove the agencies so that the board becomes the one ultimately responsible for the functions relating to matters of affordable housing.
I propose the question that clause 32 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 32 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 33.
I propose the question that clause 33 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Clause 33 is amended as per the order paper. By deletion of these clauses 33, 34, and 35 is because these contractual matters...
Chair, you must prosecute
as per.
Yeah, this is on 33 only.
Clause 33 is amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 33 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 33 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 34.
I propose the question that clause 34 be part of the bill. Mover, Chair. Are we deleting the whole part?
I propose that clause 34 be deleted as per the order paper.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I propose the question that clause 34 be deleted as proposed by the chair. And I now put the question that clause 34 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 35.
I propose the question that clause 35 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
I propose that clause 35 be deleted as per the order paper. And Madam Chair, these are issues that can be dealt with through regulations and therefore doesn't need to appear before on this particular bill.
Thank you. I now propose the question that clause 35 be deleted as proposed by the chair. And I put the question that clause 35 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We have a proposal of an amendment by Honorable Millie. Of course, this falls after the chairs is carried.
Clause 36.
I propose the question that clause 36 be part of the bill. We have member for Turkana South. Are you in the house? If not, it is dropped. We have proposed amendments by the chairpersons.
I propose that clause 36 is amended as per the order paper. Madam Chair, you also realize that this is to recognize the interest. The interest here is contractual and therefore it doesn't have to, the alternative is provided in the regulations and therefore it can wait for the regulations.
Thank you. I therefore propose the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed by the chair. And I put the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We have further amendments by the member for Seme, who is not in the house, so it is dropped. Then we have Honorable Amoshomba, who has an amendment. Can you prosecute the amendment?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that clause 36 of the bill be amended by deleting paragraph C. And my justification is, Madam Chair, this is a consequential amendment arising out of deleting of the definition affordable market housing unit, which might be sold at market rates. Also, Madam Chair, this could be abused and frustrate the objective of the bill and also move away from the spirit of the Constitution, Article 43 of the Kenyan Constitution. It is not the business of the government to sell houses. It is a business of the government to build infrastructure and facilitate stakeholders within the sector to sell or do their activities around houses. And therefore, I propose that we delete as stated in the order paper. Sorry, stated in my amendment.
Thank you. I propose the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed by Honorable Amoshomba. Chair.
Honorable Chair, the amendment again as proposed by the Honorable Amoshomba, if I read verbatim what the bill says on clause 36, that the interest rate or administration fee for a loan issued under this act shall be payable on a reducing balance as follows. A, for social housing up to 3% or an administration fee of an equivalent. B, for affordable housing unit up to 3% or an administration fee of an equivalent amount. And C, for the affordable market housing units up to 9% or administration fee of the equivalent amount. So this clause 36 is just about the administration fee. It has nothing to do with offtake of affordable housing units.
Thank you. I will therefore propose the question. I will put the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed by Honorable Gathoni Amoshomba. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The nays have it. There is a proposed amendment by member for Suba North. It is dropped. There is a proposed amendment by the member for Mandera South. Honorable Haro.
Yeah, I propose that clause 36 of the bill be amended as per the order paper by inserting the words where applicable immediately after the words under this act. The import is actually to make sure that Muslims, who are also going to be mandatory contributors like all other Kenyans, participate fully in this affordable housing scheme.
Honorable Chair. Okay, before I give you, let me propose the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed by Honorable Abdul Haro.
Chair. Yes, Honorable Chair, the 36 be amended as proposed in the order paper, but we also support the further amendment to that clause 36 as proposed by the Honorable Abdul. So I beg to move that this be amended as per the order paper, but as a joint committee, you have also agreed with the amendment for Honorable Abdul again, so that we provide for Sharia compliance for our Muslim brothers and sisters. Yes. We're moving
No, the chair has already prosecuted his amendment. This is Honorable Abdul's amendment. Okay. So your comment can only apply to the amendment by Honorable Abdul.
We are supporting.
Majority Leader.
We are supporting. In short, we are supporting.
Do you have the mic?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, we support this amendment. As the Honorable Haro has said, it's just inserting the words where applicable to take care of our Muslim brothers and sisters who will usually not pay interest on loans, but have low loan repayments. And that's why we are using the words where applicable to just take care of that for our Muslim brothers and sisters, and we support.
Thank you. Member for Matuga.
Asante mwenyekiti, naunga mkono hiyo marekebisho kwa sababu kwa sisi jamii ya Kiislamu sio kwamba ni haramu, lakini ni dhambi kubwa ikija wakati wa kutoa riba, aidha kupeana ama kupatiwa riba. Kwa hivyo naiunga mkono iweze, ili jamii yote ya Waislamu pia naweze kunufaika na huu mradi wa nyumba. Nikizungumzia nikijua sasa kama sehemu za pwani manyumba yanajengwa, wengi ni Waislamu na wangetaka kuchukua hizi nyumba. Kwa hivyo naunga mkono hoja hiyo kwamba swala la riba lisiguse Waislamu, wawe na nafasi ya kuchukua kwa njia nyingine. Asante mheshimiwa.
Thank you. Honorable Deko.
Sema kitu hapa. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, in support of the amendment by Honorable Haro, Abdul Haro from Mandera South. We are in total support, and I want to thank the Chair and the Majority Leader for supporting this amendment to take care of the interests of the Muslim community who are also paying for this, to this fund. So I support. Thank you very much.
I now put the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed by Honorable Abdul Haro. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the global question that clause 36 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 37.
I propose the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 7 be amended as per the order paper, and this amendment is to recognize that loan repayment is a contractual payment, and therefore there is no need to put this in law. It can be dealt with in regulations.
I therefore propose the question that clause 37 be deleted as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 37 be deleted as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 38.
I propose the question that clause 38 be part of the bill. Member for Nyikal, dropped. Member for Funyula. Oh, member for Seme, Honorable Nyikal. Nyikal constituency, dropped. Member for Funyula.
Chair, in view that my amendments under clause 4 failed to proceed, I therefore drop amendments under clause 38. Drop it.
Oh, he has, Honorable Member for Funyula has dropped. Proposed amendments by the chairpersons.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 38 be amended as per the order paper. This is to provide, Honorable Chair, for the voluntary contribution to the fund, and that this has to be managed by the administrator of the fund. I beg to move, Chair.
I propose the question that clause 38 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 38 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 38 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 39.
I propose the question that clause 39 be part of the bill.
Amendments.
We have proposed amendments by the chairpersons.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 39 be amended by deleting subsection 4. This provision is deleted because it is a breach of the right to information as enshrined in our Constitution.
I propose the question that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 39 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the... Oh, sorry, there is another amendment. Oh, the amendment by Honorable Wamushomba is similar with the chair, so it falls by the carrying of this one. So I'll put the global question. I put the question that clause 39 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 40.
I propose the question that clause 40 be part of the bill. Proposed amendment by the chairpersons.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that clause 40 be amended as per the order paper. This amendment, Honorable Chair, is seeking to provide for the commensurate penalty for misappropriation of funds and assets of the fund. And therefore, the bill provides for a period, provides for a penalty that does not consider the amount misappropriated. So this clause is supposed to make it very punitive for anybody who attempts to misappropriate funds into this fund.
I therefore propose the question that clause 40 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 40 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. We have another amendment. The import is that this amendment by Honorable Gathoni also falls by carrying of this amendment. So I will put the question that clause 40 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 41.
I propose the question that clause 41 be part of the bill. The proposed amendment by member for Seme is dropped, so I will put the question that clause 41 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 42.
I propose the question that clause 42 be part of the bill.
There is an amendment.
Member for Githunguri.
Madam